Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text. We tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the 7th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're looking at, this is both for the narrative lectionary and for the Revised Common Lectionary. The narrative lectionary, we're looking at Ephesians. It's continuing the path through Ephesians, and this is the second week in that. And then for the Revised Common Lectionary, we're looking at the second lesson with a hint of the gospel. There's a couple of directions we could go on it, but the reason I'm pairing the two together is the second lesson out of Romans and the narrative lectionary in Ephesians have a very similar theme about belonging to the family of God. In Romans, there's this talk about adoption and being part of the family, and it's more, he mentions adoption. It's like all of Romans, Paul is doing this circular argument that by the time you get done with it, your brain is just going, and usually down in flames for me. It's just trying to follow the argument, and then especially for a kid's sermon, it gets really difficult. So I'm looking at adoption, looking at being part of a family, and being and what does that mean? And that's also what I'm looking at in Ephesians, where Paul talks about, or the author of Ephesians talks about, that no longer are the Gentiles and the Jews, the uncircumcised and the circumcised, no longer are they apart, separate from one another, but they are together, part of, they're citizens of heaven, they're citizens of God, they are part of the same makeup, they are family. And so that idea about being family. And so one of the ideas, I just got back from my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which was pretty darn cool. And what I loved about, and not only do I love my parents and that was such a fantastic celebration, but family was drawn together. And we come together, and not all of us are family by blood, if you will, not by genetic, but being family by being welcomed into the family, by being part of the larger whole as that circle grows. My mom had a wonderful line. She said, someone says, "Oh, what a great family," and my mom says, "Yes, and it grows daily." And I love that image of growing daily, that our family expands daily. And so I'm working with that theme about how our family, maybe asking the question, how can you tell if someone's in your family? What are some of the ways that you might be able to tell that someone is in your family? And for us, it really comes down to we claim them. We say, "You are mine. You are part of my family. I'm claiming you as part of my family." And that welcome and saying, "You are here. You are part of my family." And it's a great gift to be part of a family and to be welcomed, and it's a great gift to be able to say, "Yes, I want to be part of your family." It's one of the reasons why when we do installation of new members, when I have someone who isn't really sure about wanting to stand up and say, "I want to be part of this group," one of the things I love and I stress and I drive is that one of the reasons we do it is it's good for the order of the community, meaning that for a group of people to hear someone says, "I want to be part of this community," it is a good and wonderful thing. So pulling it back to the kids' sermon. So what do we do with that? What do we do with that? And I have done this once before in a children's sermon years ago, and it's I think it is important to do this every now and then, and that is to have the congregation say to the kids, "You belong to us." Or have the congregation say to the kids, "We are glad that you are here. You are part of our family. We claim you. We are members of the body of Christ. you belong to us. Not only to that, but we belong to you. You are important to us. And that right there, to have the kids hear that, have the kids hear, you matter to us. I don't believe there can be any greater message than that, for the kids to know that they matter to the larger community, that they are important and they matter. It's great. I think that's with all of the theological language that gets mixed and danced into this. It's a very strong message to just cut to the chase and say, you belonged here. God claimed you, and we say yes to you as you are a member here. Beyond just being a member of Zion Lutheran, but you are, you matter to us. So I feel like I'm almost driving that into the ground, but it's important. And so that's the direction I'm going. A quick aside on the gospel lesson for the Revised Common Lectionary. One idea I had for if you're going with the gospel lesson and you're looking at the wheat and the weeds, dividing and pulling out. One idea I had was to use M&Ms and dividing the M&Ms. And then it's like, well, here's an M&M, this isn't an M&M. Here's an M&M, this isn't an M&M, as you divide that either by color or just by dividing them. And talk to the kids, because it's silly. The kids know that they're all M&Ms. Or they don't, but I mean, the fact is that I'm going to be missing out on half the M&Ms if I divide it that way. And this idea that God in the gospel lesson is saying, you know what, let me figure it out, let me worry about it. You're not going to be able to tell. Let me worry about it, and what you share. Treat them all like they are family. Back to that family thing. So anyway, there we go. A couple of different things: narrative, Revised Common Lectionary, all mixed together, dancing together, cats and dogs living together. All right, there we are. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. If it's sunshiny where you're at in Oregon, the weather's beautiful. It's a Sunday afternoon, and it's good. All right, have a fantastic week, and thanks for stopping by.